Shree Ganesha Sharada Gurubhyo Namaha Sindhuraruna Vigraham Trinayanam Manikyamaulispurat Taranayaka Shekharam Smitamukhim Apinamakshuruham Panibhyam Alipurna Ratna Chashakam Raktotparam Bibhratim Somyam Ratna Gadasta Rakta Charanam Dhyayet Param Ambikam. Welcome to all for the session on Lalitopakhyanam. In the previous part, we have seen how Vishanga and Vishukra, who entered into the battle, caused the havoc and had a fierce battle, and finally they were faced by Mantrini and Dandini. Finally, Mantrini could able to kill Vishukra using an arrow having the head of the Brahma, while Vishanga was pulled out of his chariot by Dandini using a halayuda, and both of them were killed in the battle. And on hearing this entire story, Agastya, who is hearing this story, asked Hayagreva, O Hayanana, Mahapragna, you have been very kind to me in describing how Mantrini and Dandini vanquished Vishukra and Vishanga so adroitly. I now desire to hear the manner in which Sri Devi defeated Bhandasura. How did the latter do when he heard of the death of his brothers and nephews who helped him in the fray after the death of his sons and the near and dear? Kindly relate all this to me, O Lord. Hayagreva replied to him, O Kumbhaja, I shall relate to you in detail the battle that raged between Bhanda and Lalitambika. Whoever listens to this will be freed from sins and will have all desires granted. He who reads the Lalita's deed with deep devotion and faith will reap a rich reward not only in his lifetime but even after. The news that his brothers and nephews had all shared the same fate as his 30 sons and other great commandants and chiefs filled Bhandasura with despair. With disheveled hair and tear-filled eyes, he lamented his loss and bemoaned his evil fate. Comforted, however, by Kutilaksha's words and sighing again and again, he said, O Kutilaksha, whichever dame or damsel is responsible for the death of my brothers, I shall now make her pay for it with blood issuing from her own cut throat. With her blood alone shall I cool the agonizing flame due to the bereavement of my sons and brothers. Get ready our armies. So saying, he roared like unto an angry lion, and putting on his armor, clanged his mighty bowstring so loudly as to make the three worlds tremble. Rushing out of his Shunyakapuri, he was joined by his armies under great and proud chieftains. Kutilaksha, followed by 35 able leaders, moved towards the battlefield looking like veritable wrath personified, while 24 Danava chiefs armed to the teeth and 2,185 Akshohinis followed behind Bhandasura to the field of war. Shunyaka Nagara was left with only female population to take care of it. Bhandasura rode on a chariot drawn by 1,000 yoke of lions and wore a khadga equaling Kalagni. His armies were so numerous that finding no place to move on the ground, some part of the army moved in the air, mingling with the dust raised by the fast movement of the heavy chariots and other vahanas. and some rode on the shoulders of others as in a circus performance. As a vast ocean of armies neared the camp of Lalita, Bhandasura let out a terrific roar, bursting the skies and the three worlds with tremendous vibration. As his armies also joined in, the roar increased in pitch and vehemence so that the oceans become waterless. The sun and the moon fled from the firmament. Stars fell down in their millions. The earth quaked and trembled continuously. The directions were filled with mad fright. The Devatas swooned away, and the Shakti army were horrified and filled with great terror. Even the flaming fence around Lalita's armies cooled and died down for a moment, though again it rose high and bright. The clang of Banda's bowstring added to the terror of the good populace. Lalitambika herself now set out to meet Bhanda in battle, for she knew that none else would be competent to stand against him. Amid enthusiastic shouts of victory from the Devata host, who had but a little before recovered from their swoon, Lalita shone with all her weapons bright with white flames scintillating from them. She rode on her mighty, holy Chaturveda Sri Chakra chariot of 9 tiers, protected by powerful yoginis and bedecked atop with Ananda Dhwaja. It was 10 yojanas in height and 4 yojanas in width, striking terror in the ranks of the Danavas. Behind Sri Devi's chariot came Geya and the Kirichakra chariots bearing Kamalamba and Dandini. Behind them marched armies of the Shaktis riding on Vahanas like Nrasimha, camels, horses, elephants, eagles, tigers, birds, etc. As they approached the gate of the flaming fence, which was only 1 yojana in width, Jala Malini widened it so that Sri Devi's chariot and the Shakti host passed through with ease. As Sri Devi passed the gate and gateway and entered the field of battle, there rang victory bells and jayabheris and devadundubis. Celestial flowers rained from the firmament, and many a good portent became visible. These signs of sure fortune and success filled the Shakti host with great joy, and the damsels eagerly looked forward to wage war with the Danavas. On the other hand, into the ranks of the Danavas rained blood as an evil omen for them. Near them, the jackals howled, kites and crows rested on their flagstaffs, bones fell in their midst. In spite of these ill forebodings, Banda, filled with Ahankara, ordered his armies to charge into the Shakti host. Heaving like an ocean and billowing and rising the frightful din, the Danava warriors fell on the damsels with their deadly weapons. Undaunted, these damsels sprang upon the onrushing Rakshasas and cut them to pieces. Wave after wave of Danavas fell upon the Shakti armies with the same result, and very soon Lalita's forces made a lightning charge into the Danava ranks, slaughtering them right and left and filling the battlefield with maimed and dead bodies. There flowed streams of blood all over, while springs of blood sprouted from beheaded and maimed bodies of Danavas. and their Vahana animals, sprinkling the air with droplets of blood, so much so that neither the sky nor the air nor ground was visible for the blood. Thus the battle raged between the two sides till this fourth day of battle was far advanced. Sri Devi now advanced to oppose Bhandasura, and there was an inspiring exhibition of exchange of astras and shastras between them. Bhandasura, filled with pride and wrath, born of sorrow, bereavement, and desperation, though welling up with great ahankara because of his greatness and prowess, indomitable on the one hand, and Sri Devi calm and smiling on the other, with the sight of the gods only. As if playing in the field of pyrotechnics, Lalitamba let loose an arrow in such a mysterious way that though it appeared as one near her bow, as it moved away, it became often different kinds. In the sky, it was a 100 kinds. On the nearing the Danava army, there were 1,000 kinds, and at last on striking the Danavas, there were 1 crore of them. In great wrath, Bhanda first let fly a shower of arrows and then a shastra known as Andhatamisra on Sri Devi. With a smile, Lalita made it ineffective with a lightning like Mahatarini arrow. When Bhanda sent Pashandastra, Jagadambika meditated on her buddhi and cut it with Gayatriastra. Bhanda sent out Andhakastra to make the Shaktis blind. Sri Devi cut it with the Chushma, Chushmati Astra. Bhanda sent Shaktinastram, Shaktinastra. Devi Lalita cut it with Vishwavaso Radhastra. Bhanda actually threw Sarvastra Smritinashaka Astra. Devi Lalita cut it with the Vishwastra. It was Shakti Nashaka Astra which was thrown by Bhanda, which was cut down by Vishwavaswasastra, while Bhanda sent Antakastra that would bring death to everybody. Lalita cut it with Mahamrityunjaya Astra. Bhanda sent an Astra that can cause amnesia, known as Sarvastra Smriti Nashaka. Then Chakreshwari Lalitambika cut it down with Dharanastra Mokshana. Then Banda sent an astra that will cause fear in the rank and file of all the Shakti Devatas, known as Fear Astra. Jagadambika then cut it with the Abhayankara Indrastra. Banda sent astra of fearful diseases, known as Maharogastra. Then Lalita Parameshwari cut that Maharogastra using Namatraya Mantra Mahastra. Due to the effect of Namatraya Mantra Mahastra, Achyuta, Ananta, Govinda then dispelled the diseases with Hunkara. They worshipped Sri Devi, who blessed them and asked them to cure her bhaktas whenever they were worshipped with their mantras of 3 names. With that intent, taking leave of Sri Devi, they left for their respective abodes. Then Banda sent an astra capable of shortening the life called as Ayurnashana Astra. Then Lalita stopped it with Kalasankarshanyastra. Bhandasura grew very, very wrathful and with a mighty intent sent out Mahasurastra astra, and there arose thousands of mighty and huge bodied Danava lords like Madhu, Kaitabha, Mahishasura, Dhumralochana, Chanda, Munda, Chichura, Chamara, Rakthabeeja, Shumbha, Nishumbha, Kalakeya, and Dhumra. These terrible Danava lords, fully armed with fearful weapons, began to torture the Shakti hosts of Lalita. Unable to bear the torture of these great and mighty Rakshasa lords, the Shakti damsels cried into Sree Devi to save them all from perishing miserably. Comforting them with the Abhaya Mudra, Sri Devi knit her brows in anger and uttered a wrathful Hunkara, and lo, there appeared Devi Durga, a cumulative form of the Tejo Shaktis of Trimurtis, and all the Devatas put together, armed with trident, spear, discus, conch, shakti, bow, arrows, inexhaustible arrow sheath, and many other wonder weapons. All the organs of her body shone with the effulgence of 1,000 suns. She rode on a mighty lion, followed by her armies. She engaged in battle and destroyed all the Danava lords in the same manner as described in Chandika Sapthashathi. Having accomplished her task, Durga Devi made obeisance to Sri Devi Lalita and departed to her abode. Bhandasura then discharged Mukashastra to make his enemies dumb. Again, with a smile on her face, Sri Devi made it ineffective by sending Vagdini Astra. Thus, in this portion of Lalitopakhyanam, we had seen a fierce battle happening between Devi Lalita and Bhandasura. And at the height of the battle, Bhandasura even threw a Mahasura astra, and from that astra, even the old Asura and Danava lords like Madhu, Kaitabha, Mahishasura, Dhumralochana, Kanda, Munda, Chakshura, Chamara, Rakthabeeja, Shumbha, Nishumbha, Alakeya, and Dhumra, they were all brought to the life. But Devi Lalita, she created Durga Devi with a wrathful Hunkara, and Durga Devi smashed all those mighty Danavas exactly in the same manner as described in Chandika Sapthashathi, finally bringing a great losing battle for Bhandasura. Namaste Sharada Devi Kashmira Puramasini Twamaham Prarthage Nityam Vidya Danancha Dehime. Goodbye.